Welcome to the Freedom's Herald podcast.
Good afternoon. I'm sitting with Sanj Altan of the Southern Mongolian Human Rights Information Center, and he has some information for us today that's of concern to all people who care about human rights.
Thank you, Jack. I really appreciate this opportunity to bring to your attention the situation with a very well-known Southern Mongolian dissident by the name of Hada. Just by way of background, I might mention that Hada was the president of the Southern Mongolian Democratic Alliance, the SMDA. This was an organization that was founded by Hada and his associates in the early 90s. The objective of this organization was to promote human rights in China for the Southern Mongolian community in particular, as well as to encourage the Chinese government to respect its own constitution in guaranteeing cultural rights of the Southern Mongolian people. In 1995, Hada was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment for the charge of splitism. This is a very serious charge in China, but we regard this as just a trumped-up charge to silence him, to basically send a message to the Southern Mongolian community that anyone who tries to promote human rights in China is going to be subject to this kind of treatment. For the past 15 years, Hada has been treated very brutally in prison. The prison conditions for him have been far harsher than they have been for other prisoners. He's been denied access to publications. His wife has been prohibited from bringing medicines in for him, clothing. So it's been a very difficult 15 years for him, both physically, mentally, and on many occasions we were very concerned about whether or not he might even survive this 15-year term. His release date was December 10th, just a few weeks ago. The week prior to his release date, his wife, Shina, was detained and charged with illegal merchandising in her store. The following day, on December 5th, Hada's son, Willis, was detained, and he was charged with illegal drugs trafficking. Again, we regard these as trumped-up charges merely to detain the family members. On December 10th, we expected to hear news about his release. The day came and went, we heard nothing. The entire family had been detained. On December 11th, we saw pictures. These were official pictures that were released to the Boshun News website, and it shows the family together, apparently in a hotel. A few days later, on December 13th, Hastulu, the uncle of Hada, purportedly a text message from Hada was sent by cell phone asking Hastulu not to communicate with him other than by text message. Again, this is a highly suspicious kind of message. It's not what we would expect to see from Hada to his uncle. We believe that it was a message sent to Hastulu by Hada under duress. On December 14th, Shina's sister, Miss Nara, was given copies of the picture and informed that the family was doing well and being housed in a hotel. December 18th is the last communication that we had with any member of Hada's family. His uncle, Hastulu, informed us on that day that he had been placed under surveillance, that he was being followed 24 hours a day, that he would not be able to communicate freely with us. Following that date, we have had no further communication with Hastulu. His telephone and his cell phones have been disconnected. Any calls to Miss Nara have also have not gotten through. The whole family has been placed under not just the immediate family, but the relatives have also been placed under these intolerable conditions where they're prevented from communicating with anyone outside. So this is really an intolerable situation where the entire family now has been detained. Hada's wife, son and Hada himself, following his release date, have been placed under detention in a place we don't know where the location is. We have no idea about what the condition of the family is. Ms. Shana herself has serious cardiac problems. We don't know if she's being allowed access to medicines. This is really an unacceptable situation, and we all should call upon the Chinese government to release Hada and his family at the earliest possible time. This is really an unacceptable situation from a human rights perspective. And we urge all of those people who are freedom-loving and supporters of democracy and human rights to go to their nearest Chinese embassy or consulate and protest the treatment of Hada and his family. This is something that we see as completely unacceptable and reaches a new level of violation of human rights. Thank you, Jack.
These Southern Mongolian activists that were arrested and have been put in jail, they're not looking for the overthrow of the Chinese government. They're trying to work within the framework of the Chinese Constitution and laws. Is that correct?
That's right. They're really asking the Chinese government to respect their own constitution and guaranteeing the cultural autonomy of the Southern Mongolian people. And in this connection, we urge all freedom-loving individuals to protest with us. Next Saturday, January 8th, 2011, we intend to go to as many Chinese embassies and consulates around the world as we can to have a mass demonstration of protest against the Chinese government and their treatment of Hada and his family. If any of the listeners would like to have more information, they can contact me by email at Sanj, S-A-N-J, at SMHRIC.org. That's the Southern Mongolian Human Rights Information Center website email address for me.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sanjay. And hopefully we'll get lots of people to pressure the government. Would it be also okay for people to write letters to their governments to put pressure on the Chinese government to release Hada and his family?
Absolutely. I think the more letters we can send to our congressmen, our senators, the better. And we intend to do this too, to encourage our legislators and our public officials to see this situation for what it is, an intolerable violation of human rights of an individual, of a citizen of the country where he's being treated in a totally arbitrary manner. It really says that the rule of law doesn't exist in China at this time.
Thank you very much, Sanjay, and have a happy new year, and thanks again.
Thanks.